Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn something about the increment and the decrement operator. So an increment operator is basically an operator whenever you want to increment a value of some variable by 1, and a decrement operator is something which is used when we want to decrement the value of some variable by 1. So in order to understand increment and decrement operators in much more depth, we are going to create a simple variable. So let's type in integer and let's name this variable as total. So once we have the variable declared, let's go ahead and save some value into this variable. So we type total equals, let's say the value stored is 20, and now let's increment this total by 1. So one thing which you could do in order to increment the total is you could simply type total equals, let's say, total plus 1. So this thing right here is basically going to increment the value of total by 1. But instead of doing this, we use the concept of increment operator. So in case of an increment operator, whenever you want to increase the value of variable by 1, we simply type total plus plus and simply give a semicolon after it. So what this thing does here is that it is going to take the total variable, it is going to check the value. Now the value which is stored in total variable is going to be equal to 20. So what this statement is going to do is that it is actually going to add one more to the current value of total. Now in order to check it if it really happens, we could type in system.out.println to actually check if the value of total is changed. Now in the parameters we specify total, and this thing right here is actually going to print out the final value of the total variable. So once we are done with this, we save the code and we right click on it and click on run, and as you could see, we got the value of total to be 21, and that is because we have incremented the value of total by 1. Now one more thing which you could do is that you could also decrement the value of total by 1. So instead of total plus plus, you could write in total minus minus, and what total minus minus does is that it is actually going to decrement the value of total by 1. So the initial value of total is 20, and when we type total minus minus, it is actually going to decrement its value by 1, and the result which we are going to get is going to be 19. So once we are done with this, we save the code, and in order to execute it, we right click on it and click run. And as you could see, in this case we got the total value to be 19. So that's basically the concept of the increment and decrement operator, and you could use increment and decrement operator as many number of times as you want. So let's say if you want to increment it again, so we could type total plus plus, and you could keep on adding this statement as many number of times as you want. So let's say if we copy this and paste it over here, so what is going to happen is that initially we have the total value to be 20, then we decrement it by 1, and then we increment it by twice. So the net effect is going to be the value of total is going to be incremented by 1. So now if we save the code and if we try to run it, and as you could see, we got the value of total to be 21. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you guys understood what are increment and decrement operators. So basically they are nothing but they are used in order to increment the value of a variable by 1 or in order to decrement the value of a variable by 1. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.